Have you ever faced someone who seemed determined to tear you down, someone who made it their mission to see you fail? In moments like these, the natural instinct is to fight back, to defend, to retaliate. But what if I told you there's a way to defeat your enemies without ever throwing a punch, without uttering a single insult, without engaging in a single battle? This is the path of Stoicism. The Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, taught that true victory doesn't come from overpowering others. It comes from mastering ourselves. In a world obsessed with domination and winning at all costs, Stoicism offers a radically different approach. You don't need to fight to destroy your enemy. In fact, by not fighting at all, you can utterly defeat them in ways they never see coming. Today, we're diving into 10 powerful strategies from Stoicism that show you how to destroy your enemies without engaging in their game. These methods not only neutralize your foes, but elevate you above the conflict, making you untouchable. Are you ready to learn the art of silent victory? Let's get started. 1. Master your emotions. The first and perhaps the most crucial way to destroy your enemy without fighting is by mastering your emotions. It's easy to lash out when provoked, to let anger, frustration, or fear take over. But here's the thing. When you allow your emotions to control you, you've already lost. Your enemy doesn't need to lift a finger. They've won by pushing you off balance. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a great Stoic philosopher, believed that no one can harm you unless you let them. Your mind, your emotions, are entirely within your control. When someone insults you or tries to bring you down, it's your reaction that gives them power. If you react with anger, you're playing into their hands. If you stay calm, they lose control over you. Imagine a situation where your enemy spreads lies about you, hoping to provoke a reaction. Most people would feel an instinctual urge to defend themselves, to fire back with equal hostility. But what happens when you don't react? When you remain composed, indifferent to their actions, you take away their satisfaction. They expect to fight, but instead, you show them that their words have no effect. In that moment, you win without ever engaging in battle. Mastering your emotions also gives you clarity. When you're not clouded by anger or fear, you make better decisions. You see your enemy's tactics for what they are, petty attempts to provoke you. You become like a rock in a storm, unmoved, unshaken, and in full control. By mastering your emotions, you not only protect yourself from manipulation, but you also elevate yourself above the conflict. Your enemy, expecting you to crumble, is left confused and powerless. They lose because you refuse to fight on their terms. In the end, the battle they sought never happens, because you've mastered the art of self-control. And that is how you destroy your enemy, by never letting them touch the one thing they wanted most. Your mind. 2. Control your response. The second way to destroy your enemy without fighting is by controlling your response. In life, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. The Stoics were masters of this principle, teaching that while external events are beyond our control, our reactions are not. Imagine someone tries to provoke you. Maybe it's a colleague undermining you at work, or a person in your personal life who pushes your buttons. Most people would react instinctively, either by snapping back or letting their emotions take over. But here's the Stoic approach. When faced with a provocation, pause. Take a moment to decide how you want to respond, not how they want you to. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your enemy expects you to react with anger, frustration, or even fear. They feed off that reaction because it confirms that they've gotten to you. But what happens when you don't respond as they expect? When you stay calm, collected, and deliberate? you rob them of their power. By controlling your response, you force your enemy to play a game they never anticipated. They expect a fight, but instead they're met with your calm indifference. It disorients them, leaving them unsure how to proceed. Over time, they grow frustrated and angry, while you remain in control of the situation. They lash out harder, and yet their blows find no mark because you've chosen not to engage emotionally. This doesn't mean you don't respond at all. It means you respond thoughtfully. Instead of reacting from a place of emotion, you act from a place of wisdom. Maybe it's a simple acknowledgement of their words without any emotion attached, or maybe it's choosing silence altogether. Either way, you show that they cannot control you. When you control your response, you dismantle their strategy without ever entering into a direct confrontation. And in doing so, you've defeated your enemy not through force, but through the mastery of yourself. 3. Lead by example. One of the most powerful ways to destroy your enemy without ever engaging in direct conflict is by leading by example. In the heat of rivalry or hostility, your enemy expects you to stoop to their level, to meet their aggression with equal force, or to retaliate in kind. But by living with virtue and integrity, you expose their pettiness for what it truly is. The Stoics believed that true strength lies in embodying virtues like kindness, patience, and humility, regardless of how others treat you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." By refusing to mirror their bad behavior, you hold up a mirror to their actions, showing everyone, including them, the contrast between who they are and who you choose to be. Imagine someone is slandering you at work or in your social circle, hoping to drag your reputation down. Most people would feel compelled to fight back, to clear their name aggressively. But instead, you continue to perform your duties with excellence, treat others with respect, and live according to your principles. Over time, others will start to see the truth. Your character shines brighter than any lie. Your enemy's attempts to smear you begin to look desperate and small in comparison. When you lead by example, you don't just protect your own dignity, you also send a powerful message. Your actions speak louder than their words or provocations. The more your enemy tries to tear you down, the more they reveal their own insecurity and weakness. They realize that, no matter what they do, they can't corrupt your character. In fact, their attacks only strengthen your reputation because people respect those who rise above conflict. Leading by example isn't about being passive or allowing yourself to be walked over. It's about choosing the high road, choosing to live by your values even when it's difficult. This moral strength will destroy your enemy's influence without you ever having to throw a single verbal punch. In the end, your example will stand as a monument to what true strength looks like. Your enemy will realize that in trying to bring you down, they've only revealed their own flaws, while you remain untouchable. 4. Avoid attachment to outcomes. Another powerful way to defeat your enemy without fighting is by avoiding attachment to outcomes. The Stoics believed that while we can control our actions, we cannot control the results. This is a liberating concept because it frees you from the need to constantly win in every situation. When you're not attached to the outcome, your enemy can no longer manipulate you by threatening your success or failure. Think about it. Your enemy thrives on your fear of losing. Whether it's in a career, personal rivalry, or some other competition, they want you to be obsessed with the end result, winning at all costs. When you're attached to an outcome, you become anxious, stressed, and more likely to react emotionally. But if you detach yourself from the result and focus only on what you can control, your effort, your actions, and your mindset, your enemy loses their ability to influence you. Imagine you're up against a rival at work. both of you competing for the same promotion. Your rival tries to throw you off balance, making you worry about whether you'll get the position. They spread rumors, undercut your work, or try to make you look bad in front of others. If you're fixated on the outcome, getting that promotion, you'll likely react impulsively and make decisions based on fear or frustration. But if you embrace the Stoic idea of detachment, you'll realize that the outcome is ultimately beyond your control. Your only focus should be on doing your best work and maintaining your integrity, regardless of whether you win or lose. When you let go of your attachment to outcomes, you become unshakable. Your enemy can no longer use the fear of failure against you because you've already accepted that the outcome doesn't define you. Whether you succeed or fail is secondary to how you conduct yourself in the process. By focusing on your own actions and staying true to your values, you rob your enemy of the power to control your emotions. In the end, you'll find that by not obsessing over the outcome, you've already won. Your enemy may still seek victory, but you've transcended the conflict altogether, leaving them stuck in the very game they tried to draw you into. 5. Win through patience. Patience is one of the most underrated yet powerful weapons in a Stoic's arsenal. In a world where everything is fast-paced and everyone wants immediate results, mastering the art of patience allows you to destroy your enemy without ever engaging in direct conflict. While your enemy grows frustrated and impulsive, you remain steady, letting time and wisdom work in your favor. Your enemy wants to provoke you, to push you into making a rash decision or reacting emotionally. They hope that by applying pressure, you'll crack under the weight of frustration or impatience. But when you cultivate patience, you rob them of this power. You don't act when they expect you to, and your calm demeanor only adds to their irritation. Imagine being in a negotiation with someone who is trying to manipulate you by rushing your decisions. They might attempt to create a sense of urgency, hoping you'll make a mistake. But if you remain patient, if you take your time and refuse to be pressured, you maintain control. Over time, they'll reveal their weaknesses, becoming frustrated by your calm and thoughtful approach. Patience also allows you to see the bigger picture. When you're not in a rush to win immediately, you're able to observe your enemy's behavior, recognize patterns, and anticipate their next move. While they're consumed by the desire for quick results, you're thinking long-term. Your ability to delay gratification and remain composed gives you the upper hand. They act hastily while you make strategic decisions. Seneca once said, "Time discovers truth." When you let time play its course, the true nature of your enemy is revealed. Their flaws become more apparent, their weaknesses more exposed, and their impulsive decisions begin to backfire. By staying patient, you allow your enemy to defeat themselves. In the end, patience enables you to win a battle without lifting a finger. While your enemy wastes energy trying to break you, you remain calm and wait for the right moment to act, or not act at all. They'll grow weary, consumed by their own impatience, while you stand victorious, untouched by their attempts to rush you into defeat. 6. Cultivate inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and one of the most effective ways to destroy your enemy without engaging in direct conflict. In a world rife with chaos, anxiety, and negativity, maintaining a sense of tranquility allows you to rise above the turmoil and remain untouchable in the face of hostility. Your enemy thrives on disruption. They want to rattle you, to provoke anxiety and fear that will cloud your judgment and drive you to react impulsively. But when you cultivate inner peace, you create a fortress around yourself, making it impossible for their actions to penetrate. This inner calm is not merely about suppressing emotions, it's about developing a deep, abiding sense of stability and self-awareness. Imagine a situation where someone tries to undermine you, whether through gossip, sabotage, or outright aggression. If you allow their actions to disturb your peace, you're giving them power over you. But when you prioritize your mental and emotional well-being, their efforts become insignificant. You maintain your composure, knowing that your value isn't defined by their perceptions or attacks. Meditation, mindfulness, and reflection are powerful practices that can help cultivate this inner peace. By regularly taking time to check in with yourself and your thoughts, you build resilience against external pressures. The more grounded you become, the less susceptible you are to your enemy's provocations. When you practice these techniques, you develop a heightened awareness of your emotions, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. The Stoics taught that our happiness and tranquility come from within, not from external circumstances. When you embody this principle, you not only protect yourself, but also expose the emptiness of your enemy's attempts to disrupt your peace. They may rage and shout, but your serene demeanor reveals their own insecurities and the futility of their actions. In essence, cultivating inner peace means you don't engage in their battle at all. When you remain untroubled and centered, your enemy's aggression loses its effect. They may grow increasingly frustrated as you remain composed, watching their attempts to disrupt you with an almost detached amusement. Ultimately, this inner strength disarms your enemy. They can throw insults or plots against you, but you'll remain untouched, radiating calm and confidence. In that stillness, you hold the ultimate victory, not by fighting back, but by refusing to allow their chaos to intrude upon your inner world. 7. Use indifference as armor. One of the most powerful tools in the Stoic arsenal is the practice of indifference. While this may sound passive or weak, in reality, it's a potent strategy for disarming your enemy without engaging in combat. Indifference allows you to maintain emotional distance from the provocations and attacks that others may hurl at you, rendering them powerless in the face of your composure. Your enemy thrives on your emotional reactions. They want to see you flustered, angry, or hurt. They derive satisfaction from provoking you, believing that their words or actions have the power to shake your resolve. However, when you cultivate a sense of indifference, an understanding that their opinions and actions do not dictate your worth, you effectively build an armor that protects you from their assaults. Imagine you're dealing with someone who routinely criticizes your work or attempts to undermine you in social settings. They may launch a verbal barrage, hoping to elicit a response that reveals your vulnerability. But what happens when you choose to respond with indifference? Instead of firing back or defending yourself, you remain calm, offering nothing more than a nonchalant acknowledgement of their words. Their insults lose their sting when they realize you're unaffected. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom emphasizes that your enemy's attempts to provoke you are ultimately meaningless unless you allow them to penetrate your armor of indifference. By refusing to give their words weight, you strip them of their power. You don't just protect your emotional state, you also expose the emptiness of their attacks. When you practice indifference, you gain clarity. You see the situation for what it truly is, an attempt by someone else to control your emotions. As you cultivate this mindset, you'll notice that your enemy's frustration grows. They'll try harder to elicit a response, but your unshakable demeanor will only serve to highlight their desperation. Indifference also allows you to conserve energy. Instead of wasting time and mental resources on futile conflicts, you can redirect that energy toward what truly matters: your goals, your values, and your own growth. By disengaging from their drama, you elevate yourself above the fray, becoming untouchable in their eyes. In the end, using indifference as armor means you can navigate life's challenges with a sense of freedom and control. Your enemy may throw barbs, but you'll remain unscathed, standing firm in the knowledge that their efforts to provoke you are both futile and irrelevant. This practice not only shields you from harm, but also positions you as a figure of strength in a world filled with chaos. 8. Embrace empathy. Embracing empathy might seem counterintuitive when dealing with an enemy, yet it is a powerful method to undermine their efforts without engaging in direct conflict. Stoicism teaches us that understanding others' perspectives can provide clarity and insight into their motivations, often allowing us to respond with wisdom rather than anger. Your enemy may act out of insecurity, fear, or unresolved issues. By recognizing that their aggression often stems from their own suffering, you can cultivate a sense of compassion rather than resentment. This doesn't mean you condone their behavior. Rather, it positions you to respond with a level of emotional intelligence that disarms their attempts to provoke you. Consider a situation where a colleague is trying to sabotage your work. Instead of retaliating with hostility, take a moment to reflect on why they might be acting this way. Perhaps they feel threatened by your skills, fear losing their job, or have personal issues that make them lash out. Understanding their perspective doesn't excuse their actions, but it allows you to navigate the situation more strategically. When you approach your enemy with empathy, you shift the dynamic. Instead of entering a battle of wills, you disarm their hostility by showing that you see beyond their actions. For instance, in a conversation, you could express understanding for their feelings, which might lead them to reconsider their behavior. "I can see that this situation is stressful for you," you might say, acknowledging their emotional state without engaging in conflict. This approach often surprises them, and it can lead to a de-escalation of tensions. Empathy also allows you to maintain your own emotional balance. Rather than allowing their negativity to affect your mood or decisions, you approach the situation with a sense of calm. You don't take their attacks personally. You understand that their behavior is more about them than it is about you. This clarity protects your peace of mind and empowers you to stay focused on your goals. Moreover, when you demonstrate empathy, you become a figure of strength in the eyes of others. People are drawn to those who embody compassion and understanding, which can build your reputation as a leader or a person of integrity. As your enemy's tactics falter against your calm and empathetic demeanor, they may even find themselves isolated while you cultivate supportive relationships with others. Ultimately, embracing empathy allows you to dismantle your enemy's aggression from within. You don't need to fight back. Your understanding and compassion create a ripple effect, influencing not only their behavior, but also fostering a more positive environment around you. In this way, you win without engaging in a battle, transforming hostility into understanding and turning your enemy into a mere shadow of their former self. 9. Practice strategic withdrawal. One of the most effective ways to dismantle an enemy's power without engaging in direct conflict is through the practice of strategic withdrawal. This Stoic strategy involves stepping back from a situation or relationship that is toxic or draining, allowing you to conserve your energy and maintain your dignity. Rather than fighting back or retaliating, you choose to disengage, demonstrating that you will not be drawn into their chaos. Imagine you're involved in a rivalry, whether at work, among friends, or within your family. Your enemy may constantly seek to provoke you, dragging you into arguments or pitting you against others. In such scenarios, it can be tempting to confront them directly, to fight for your position or reputation. However, withdrawing can often be the most powerful response. By stepping back, you deny your enemy the satisfaction of a confrontation. They expect you to react. They thrive on the drama. But when you withdraw, you send a clear message. Their provocations no longer hold power over you. You are choosing to prioritize your well-being over the chaos they bring. and that decision is inherently empowering. This doesn't mean you're running away in fear. Rather, you're exercising wisdom by recognizing when a situation is unproductive or harmful. You might choose to limit your interactions with the person or even remove yourself from the environment entirely. This could involve taking a break from social gatherings where they are present, avoiding workplace interactions, or even engaging in distance communication until you regain your sense of equilibrium. Strategic withdrawal also gives you the space to reflect on the situation. When you remove yourself from the immediate stress, you gain clarity on your emotions and can assess the dynamics more objectively. This insight allows you to formulate a plan moving forward, whether it involves addressing the situation directly later on or finding a new approach entirely. Furthermore, your withdrawal can serve to elevate your status in the eyes of others. While your enemy continues to engage in petty drama, you emerge as someone who values peace and self-control. Others may begin to respect you more for your composure and wisdom. 10. Foster self-improvement. The final way to destroy your enemy without fighting is to focus on fostering self-improvement. This Stoic principle emphasizes the importance of dedicating your energy and attention to becoming the best version of yourself, rather than getting caught up in the conflict with others. When you prioritize your growth, you not only elevate your own life, but also diminish the significance of your enemy in the grand scheme of things. When your enemy tries to drag you into a battle, be it verbal assaults, gossip, or sabotage, redirect your focus to your personal development. This might involve pursuing new skills, cultivating your passions, or enhancing your physical and mental well-being. Instead of being consumed by their negativity, you channel that energy into constructive activities that foster growth and fulfillment. Imagine a situation where someone is attempting to undermine your achievements at work. Instead of getting entangled in their petty schemes, you choose to invest time in improving your skills or expanding your knowledge in your field. As you dedicate yourself to your own progress, you become increasingly confident and competent. Your enemy's attempts to bring you down become insignificant compared to the strides you're making in your personal and professional life. As you cultivate your self-improvement, you create a stark contrast between your focus on growth and your enemy's fixation on conflict. People around you will notice your commitment to bettering yourself, and this will enhance your reputation. While they remain entrenched in negativity, you become a beacon of positivity and resilience, inspiring others and potentially swaying them to your side. Moreover, self-improvement allows you to build emotional and mental fortitude. The more you invest in your own well-being, the less affected you become by external provocations. Your enemy may still try to attack you, but with each step you take towards self-improvement, you fortify your defenses against their negativity. You realize that their attempts to disrupt your peace are merely distractions from the meaningful work you are doing on yourself. Ultimately, fostering self-improvement means you're no longer in competition with your enemy. You transcend the rivalry by focusing on your own journey, effectively rendering their efforts moot. While they are busy trying to tear you down, you are soaring to new heights, leaving them in your wake. In this way, you not only achieve personal success, but also defeat your enemy by showing that their negativity cannot touch you. By prioritizing your growth and well-being, you create a life filled with purpose, resilience, and fulfillment, leaving no room for their toxic influence. In the end, the greatest victory is not in defeating your enemy, but in transforming yourself into someone who rises above conflict and thrives in all aspects of life. In conclusion, the Stoic principles we've explored provide a powerful framework for overcoming conflict and dismantling your enemies without engaging in direct confrontation. By mastering your response, leading by example, practicing patience, and embracing empathy, you build a robust defense against negativity. Each method emphasizes the importance of self-control, inner peace, and self-improvement, transforming you into a resilient individual who rises above the fray. As you cultivate these qualities, you not only protect yourself from the emotional turmoil inflicted by others, but also expose the futility of their attempts to provoke you. You learn to disengage strategically, allowing you to focus on personal growth rather than petty rivalries. In doing so, you shift the narrative, demonstrating that true strength lies not in fighting back, but in refusing to be drawn into conflict at all. Ultimately, the journey of self-mastery and improvement empowers you to create a fulfilling life, unencumbered by the negativity of those around you. By embodying these Stoic principles, you become a shining example of resilience and virtue, proving that the most profound victories often occur within. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.